Hey everyone, it's Lizzie. Welcome back to my channel. Today is the very first paycheck of February. So let's go ahead and figure out the plan for what we're gonna do with our money. The reason why I am loving this particular budget planner, it is from the Budget Mom, it is because it's specific for paydays. So each and every paycheck you receive, you will go ahead and make a plan for that money. You want to make sure that you are at a zero balance at the end. And that means that you are giving every single one of your dollars a job. You want to make sure that you are in control of your money instead of your money being in control of you, right? So with this setup, it is a nice flow for how you can allocate your funds. So the most important things are your fixed expenses. Then of course we have our variable expenses, which are those that tend to fluctuate. They're not the same amount each and every week or each and every month. So that's things like your gas, your grocery spending, any miscellaneous items that do come up during the course of a week or a month that aren't a fixed dollar amount. Now I know that with like utility bills, those can be variable as well, but I am including that under fixed because that is a regular occurrence and I am able to see what the dollar amount is before the month. So if you feel like you want to include those type of expenses under variable, by all means do that. I typically have my variable expenses for like my cash spending, my husband's spending, that sort of thing. So do whatever works for you. Then the next thing is your sinking funds. And if you don't know what a sinking fund is, let me just give you like a brief description of what that is. So they're technically like savings buckets. So you go through and you figure out what are those things that come up throughout the year that kind of gives you a blow to your budget. For a lot of people, that is holidays, birthdays, car maintenance, repairs. That can be your kids back to school shopping. Things that are going to happen, you know that they are going to happen, but then yet when they come up, it's a surprise. And why should it be? Because this is something that is planned ahead. You have a date of when something is going to happen, or you know that throughout the course of a year, a medical expense will come up. Maybe you want to have a savings bucket be for medical. For us, some stuff that tends to come up that's kind of unexpected, but yet we know it is going to happen eventually, is like our dogs getting sick and we have to take them to the vet, like an emergency vet. So for us, we have to make sure that we set money aside specifically for our pets. So think about what happens in your life that you'd want to mark out and set money aside paycheck to paycheck. If you can only do a little bit, that's more than what you had yesterday. Now, if you can figure out what a dollar amount you'd like and feel comfortable with, then break it out and see, okay, what is the dollar amount that I would be able to set aside for that specific sinking fund? So now you have that set up. Then if you are in debt, make a plan so that way we can go ahead and pay this debt off, okay? Whatever is left over, put that money aside into this debt section. And then of course, if you want to save more for other things, maybe you didn't have enough room up here and you have to put it for savings. If you are wanting to, if you're expecting a child, maybe, it's important for you to set money aside for that child because there are miscellaneous expenses that you know is going to come up and you want to make sure that you have a good buffer. So that's kind of the layout of this particular budget planner worksheet. I have been loving it so far. Okay, so now that we know the different sections, how is it that we can make sure that we are putting money in the proper place and doing the best work that we can possibly do for it? It all takes a review. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have a list of all of your bills written in one place, whether that be you put it on a calendar so you know when the due dates are, or if you want to use something and you're a little bit more tech savvy, use like a bill tracker system. I am going to be showing you me using a spreadsheet that I had created for the bill tracker that I use and have been using for years. It's a way that you can break down your bills paycheck to paycheck, and it splits it up that way. When you receive your paycheck, you're not feeling like you have no money left over because that money is going straight to bills. When you plan ahead and you set money aside specifically for those paychecks, then you feel like you have more money in the end. and it's less of a blow to your budget. So I'm going to be going through my bill tracker, and we're going to write up what are those things that we're going to put aside for this worksheet. So I have listed out all of the fixed expenses, the variable, and the sinking funds that we're going to be setting aside. So let's just get started. And a side note, one of my neighbors has a bird feeder. So there are a lot of birds, and you'll probably be hearing some noise, and also my dog like snorting in the background. So just keep that in mind. So for very first thing, figure out what it was that you received for your paycheck. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom this in. That way you can see a little bit better of what is happening on my worksheet. All right, we are up close and personal. So our inflow, it is actually the actual amount, but I'm just going to write in on the budgeted column. Okay, so both my husband and I receive paychecks the same day. We're on the same pay schedule. And so I'm just going to list both of ours. One of them was $2,089.34, and the other was $1,282.37. We do tithe, so we tithe 10% of what our income is. And so for that is about, I like to round up to the nearest dollar or make it a nice number. So 340 is what that is. So that leaves us with a remaining budget amount to break down of $3,031.71. So now with this is where we figure out, okay, what is it that we want to put money aside for? And sorry if the lighting here is kind of weird. I'm trying to get a right setup in this office, but it seems as if there's like a weird like light darkness that keeps passing by. So I'm so sorry about that, if that is annoying. Hopefully I can figure out the lighting situation here. That way that doesn't happen. So I am going to reference a screenshot of what the bill tracker looks like. That way you can see what we're dealing with. So I have it nice and neatly organized, and this is why I love it. I've already planned ahead. Let me actually pause this to figure out what's going on with my camera. Okay, I think I got the lighting situation taken care of. Hopefully that weird line doesn't show up anymore. All right, for rent, we've already mapped it out ahead of time. That way, come payday, we already know what we're gonna do with our money, okay? So for rent, we're gonna put $475 aside. So what I mean, we are gonna set it aside. It is still in my bank account. We're not withdrawing the funds. We keep it in the bank account. We just don't touch it. So we make sure that we set the money aside on my checkbook register app, and then I'm able to calculate what I truly have available in my account. That way I know not to touch this. So when I say set it aside, that's what I mean. And then for internet, we're gonna allocate $25 for that. iTunes is 99 cents. Spotify is $16.99. Identity theft is $12.90. Car insurance, we're gonna allocate $64. We are actually ahead when it comes to our car insurance, because car insurance did not come out this last month because there was a credit, because we had moved, insurance changed, the pricing changed, and we had already paid for the Florida insurance. So they had just credited our account, and so we didn't have to pay last month, which was a blessing. So we actually have more for car insurance, but I want to start getting ahead on some of the bills in hopes that in time we will be 1 month ahead in our expenses. And if you do not follow, guys, side note and tangent, but if you do not follow OU Budget on Instagram, she talks about being a month ahead, and she uses the prior month's income for her current month, because she's a month ahead on her expenses, and she's able to like be more in control of her spending and like knowing what to do with her money. And it's so inspiring. And if you have any ideas or tips on how to become a month ahead, let us know in the comments, because I think that is just great information and feedback. So I would welcome that. So let us know how, if you are a month ahead, what did you do? Was it like a specific dollar amount that you had set aside every month, or like what did you do? Because I really think that that would be awesome. Okay, so our electric, we're gonna put $24 aside. We have a personal loan. We're gonna allocate $198 for that. 2 city cards. One is getting 23, one is getting 36. And then we have, these are our 2 personal cards. So what we do typically is like, we'll use our card for expenses. Like we've gone to places where they didn't accept cash and we had to use a card. I want to get away from doing that because that is defeating the purpose. I'm the first to admit when we have faults, we have things that we have to improve upon. So I am actually no longer carrying a credit card with me. If I don't have it in the bank account or if I don't have the cash, then I'm gonna go ahead and just skip that purchase because that's where you can run into trouble. So I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong on certain things. So we're gonna go ahead and just pay off what the balance is, $125.81. And then another thing is like, oh, I'm gonna use my credit card and then I know I get paid on this week, so we're gonna go ahead and pay that back. I've been in that mindset quite frequently, and so has my husband. We need to retrain ourselves. I wrote this down on the wrong spot. So this is my personal. This is $269.97, $125.81, and then we are actually going to put extra debt payment for the city card of $110.05. So now we're going to go ahead and add up this. So that comes out to be $1271.66, I think. Yep. So then you take your income amount of the $3031.71 and you're going to subtract your fixed expense dollar amount. So the $1271.66. And you still have to budget out this remaining amount, $1760.05. Now, we put money aside in my husband's account. That's his responsibility, right? So we usually go and use that funds for like date night, like fun stuff, than his personal spending. But like, I don't really monitor that stuff. I do track it because we want to make sure that on the expense tracker, we're making it a point to see where our money is going, but I don't like really monitor what is in that account. So 175 is going in there. And by the way, all of this is for a 2-week period, okay? Because we get paid every 2 weeks. Gas is 140. Groceries gonna be 200. Again, this is for 2 weeks. Other is 50, and I highlighted those because I do withdraw cash for that. And then our cushion, we're gonna leave $100 in our account. And let's go ahead and add this up. So 665. So again, taking the income and subtracting the 665, 1095.05. Let me put that up here. 1095.05. All right, now we get to the fun stuff. Sinking funds. Again, you had figured out already what are those things that you want to focus on. What are the things that are going to come up? Where is the areas that you struggle with when it comes around, right? So I am one to say it is okay to set money aside for fun things while you are in debt. It is okay to set money aside for travel while you are in debt. Obviously, you want to make sure that you do it in a moderation, but I see nothing wrong if you are doing those things, setting money aside, traveling, having fun, going to restaurants, even though you are in debt. Yes, there may be a way for you to pay off debt quicker if you don't do those things, but I'm one that I am not gonna prevent memories and with my loved ones and just having fun while I am working hard to pay off debt and to, you know, get our finances back in order, because then it's not fun. I want to make sure that I am setting money aside and being responsible for those other things that happen in life. You can leave hate comments if you are, a diehard person that is so against going out to eat while you're in debt and following that strict plan. Go ahead, leave the comments. We can agree to disagree and we can respect each other's opinions. As long as you are seeing progress in your finances, as long as you are working towards becoming debt free, because I am adamant on I want to become debt free again. I don't want to be a slave anymore to these creditors, but I also want to make sure that we are doing like small things, not like extravagant, crazy expensive travels, but there's nothing wrong in my eyes with like going on a road trip, staying for a weekend at a place, Airbnb, like affordable things, making food. When you're traveling, like try to eat at the hotel or at the Airbnb, like cook and make your own food because you can save money, things like that. I got that out of the way. Now let's go ahead and see what we're going to write up here. So now one of the bills in the bill tracker was Plexus, which is my supplements and my husband's supplements that we take for health reasons. There are certain things that I require in my body in order to function normally. So it's kind of it's a need. So that's why we still have that on our budget and we still pay for that, because without it, I would be suffering. Without it, I would be on medication, prescription medication that I don't want to be on. That's super expensive because insurance, of course, barely covers anything for me when it comes to this particular area in my health. If you're curious to know what it is, send me an email and we'll have a conversation, okay? So for beauty, this is for like obviously beauty products, but like hygiene, all of that stuff. So for this, we're gonna put 174 in there. Car maintenance. We're putting a lot in here. You might be questioning why. We still are in the process of trying to get one of our vehicles registered in our state. We've ran into a little snag, a little setback for the information that's in Florida and like trying to transfer the information here. Communicating between the DMVs, it's just been a headache. So I had my stuff switched, but it's been my husband's and our car that we had registered in Florida and just all of this stuff. It's just crazy. I can't wait for it to be done, but it is gonna cost us. So we gotta make sure that we set money aside for that. There's certain repairs that we have to have done on the car. We are deciding that we are just gonna use this car for a little while longer until we can save a good amount, so that way we can buy a new to us car. We're gonna see what happens. My husband has a love for our car. If you don't know, we have it's apparently it's like a collectible. It is a 96 4Runner, Toyota 4Runner, and it is in fantastic condition. The body, there's no rust. It's beautiful. It is. It's a nice car, but it is so old. And there's obviously a lot of parts that need some fixing. But he has a love for it. We've put so much money into this car and he is not wanting to part with it. And I can understand, like, it is a good car. Toyotas are fantastic cars. So yeah, that's just a side note. All right, clothing. We are gonna put $25. Fun, $50. Hobby, $50. Holidays and celebration as well is getting $50. Home is getting $25. My husband's men retreat, $48. Mobile, $33. Oh Snap is getting $25. Pet is getting $30. Renter's insurance is gonna get $5. And travel is getting $50. The last category down here is our Christmas Savings Challenge box, and that is getting $50. So let's go ahead and just add this section up and make sure that we will be left with a zero-based budget. Okay, that is 110.05. 50. And we are left with a zero-based budget. And a zero-based budget is exactly where you want to be. So now we want to figure out what is the cash breakdown for our paycheck budget. Using the sinking funds and like everything that we have going on, I wrote in the totals already. This is the total cash that we will be withdrawing, $1,235, and we're gonna see what we have to take out. So for groceries, I don't want all large bills. So I'm not gonna do hundreds, but I will do just 50. So we're gonna do 4 50s for that. For other, I'm just gonna do the 150. Beauty is gonna get 174, so 174. Car maintenance is getting 370. Clothing, 25. Fun is getting 50. 50, 50. 25, 45, 8, 20, 33, 25, 20, 30, 5. Travel is getting 50. Christmas, we're gonna break this down a bit, is gonna get 25 each. So 25, that would make the 50. So now you go ahead and you just total your denomination. So 4, 100, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this makes $400, 550, 220, $20, 7 5s is 35, and then $10 in ones. So then you use this and you can put that on a cute little teller slip. Exactly what I did. I just transferred that information and I wrote it on this teller slip. That way, when you go to the bank, you can fill out your withdrawal slip and you have your plan already for what you are going to withdraw. That way, it's not going to take you forever when you're at the teller to like, oh, figure out what you're going to take out for your cash. So now that I have that, I'm going to head to the bank now and we're gonna do some cash stuffing. But I hope that this explanation, at least of how to use these pages, was helpful for you. So let's go ahead, do the bank run, and I will be right back here. And we are back from the bank and we have the cash at hand. So let's go ahead and get to stuffing our cash envelopes. So I'm sure you probably want to verify the funds with me, right? I've already verified, but just for satisfaction, let's go ahead and just count this out and make sure that it is indeed the $1,235 that we wanted to get from the bank. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900. These are like really new, so 950, 70, 90. The 50 always throws me off. Ugh. 950, 1,000. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 200, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. So we are good. Now let's get this organized and stuff our envelopes. So we're gonna first start off with my wallet. This is where I keep my grocery money and the miscellaneous and any receipts as well. So I have some change that I gotta put in my little savings jar. That's it. So I'm just gonna put that aside. We're not left with much. So we have a whole dollar left from the miscellaneous spending. And I am probably just gonna put it in one of my sinking funds, to be honest. So I'm just gonna set this aside and then we're gonna go ahead and get to putting the funds in here. So for groceries, we said that we were gonna put $200 and they were all gonna be in 50s. So we have 100 and 200. Those are like nice crisp 50s. And then for the miscellaneous or other is getting $50, and I'm just gonna take another $50 bill. All right, so hopefully this is gonna last me for the next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna put that in here. And then we're good to go with my wallet. And next I'm gonna get my sinking funds binder. Okay, so this is my sinking funds binder. And for beauty, we are adding $174. This is for my supplements along with any like hygiene stuff, as I mentioned. So this is getting 174. So 150, 70, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this now has 1, 2, 250, 270, 1, 2, 3, 274. You know what, let me just put this $1 to make it 275. Car maintenance is getting the 370. We have 1, 2, 300, 350, 370. So car maintenance now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 570, 575, 6, 7, 8, 579. Clothing is going to get $25. So 25. Fun is going to get the 50. Hobbies is getting 50. Holidays and celebration is getting 50. Home is gonna get 25. So home now has 45. The men's retreat is getting 48. So 20, 40, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 155, 160, 161, 2, 3, 4, 165, 166. Mint Mobile is getting $33. So 20, 30, 31, 2, 33. So Mint Mobile now has 50, 70, 90, 100, 10, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 130, 131, 132. Oh Snap is getting 25. So 25. So it has 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 61, 2, 3, 64. Pets is now getting $30. So 30, 20, 30, and 5. Rent insurance is getting $5. Oops. Now has 20. Travel is getting $50. The travel mat has 50, 70, and 80. So this is all set for the sinking funds binder. Now let's go ahead and get to our Christmas savings challenge box. All right, so this is my 1,000 savings for Christmas. It's just a fun way for us to see visually the progress for our Christmas savings, and it is for 52 weeks. So each week you will choose an envelope, and when you pull that envelope, you will save the dollar amount that's written on the envelope. So I'm just going in order, and you start off by saving $1, 1 week, $2, the next week, and so on. And then once you do save that amount in the envelope, you will go ahead and just fill in the envelope in this little tracker. And then the end of 52 weeks, you will save $1,000. That is our goal for this year's Christmas, and I'm so excited that we are on schedule to be able to save that amount. So if you do go in order, you start off by saving a small amount in the beginning, then you work to having saved $25 for the weeks. It bumps up to $35 and it goes back down, $25, and it goes down to $10, $9, $8, $7 until $1. So if you go in order, just know that you do start off small, you increase the amount, and then you go back to saving less, but it will total that $1,000. So we're gonna go ahead and stuff 2 of the envelopes. Because we get paid bi-weekly, I wanna keep saving each week. So that's why we do stuff 2 envelopes each payday. So we're gonna be stuffing $25 each. So let's go ahead and grab the 2 envelopes. So here's 25. And 25. Let me go ahead coloring this in. In there. And now we are all set, you guys. We stuffed our savings challenge boxes, we stuffed our sinking funds binder, and we took care of our regular day-to-day envelopes for the variable spending. So it's a simple process when it comes to using the cash envelope system and method. You don't have to go and use cash if that does not work for you. Maybe you want to be one that saves it digitally and just transfers it into an online savings account. Like Ally, they do have buckets. The reason why we are choosing to save the funds in cash for a short period of time is because we feel more accountable. We feel more motivated when we see the cash on hand. Yes, you can earn interest on these online savings. We have the bulk of our savings in an online savings account, so we do earn interest on that, and we feel comfortable with that. With these, we do keep this in a safe, fireproof safe, waterproof safe. So I'm not gonna carry all of this cash with me at one time. That is not safe. But for the day-to-day spending, I do keep that, and I'm actually going to be heading out to the store and doing some groceries. That way we're set up for success for the week. So if you do want to see how we handle our spending for groceries and meal ideas, I am planning on having some ideas and tips and just for motivation for myself, along with hoping to motivate you as well when it comes to your food savings and ways that you can actually eat more at home than eating out. So if that interests you, I hope you consider subscribing before you leave. If you did enjoy today's video, you just found it motivating at all, or you maybe learned something new, I hope you consider liking it and sticking around for future content here at Naturally Lizzie. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. I hope you all have a blessed week, and I will see you guys right here in a brand new video. Bye, guys.